During the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Are you ready to go beyond? Welcome to my show, Go Beyond. I'm your host, Jordana Foster. Each week, I will be showing you how to go beyond your limiting beliefs to take you and your business to the next level. If you're ready to redefine, recommit, reset, and re-engage yourself, this is the time, this is the place. Go beyond.
Securities offered through Aventex Investment Services, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Aventex Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through Aventex affiliated insurance agency.
Well, hello there. It is Tuesday night, and you know what that means. It's the Go Beyond show night, and I'm your host, Jordana Foster. And as you may remember, at the beginning of last year, I decided to highlight one key word that would be for either my guests or sponsors and contributors, or if I was doing a coaching or speaking. And actually, it's two words tonight. Do you have any idea what the words are, the phrase of the day? The phrase of the day, or the words of the day, are, it's estate planning. And I have a wonderful guest, an amazing contributor that we're going to introduce in just a minute. But I just wanted to share a little bit about me as a business coach, as a leadership and communication trainer, and a motivational speaker. I am extremely passionate about helping business professionals and business owners and managers and organizations to get out of their own way, to get unstuck, and to get very clear on what it is that's holding them back from achieving the goals that they have for their life, for their business, and for their career. And you know what I found? That it's usually more than one thing that's holding them back. From virtual and in-person mindset shift workshops and DISC personality assessments, debriefs and workshops, and communication and leadership trainings and corporate training programs for managers and teams and business professionals that are looking to elevate their mindset, enhance their communication skills, and up-level their performance to get the optimal results that they not only desire, but they deserve. What do you desire and deserve when it comes to your goals? Now more than ever, having a thinking partner, an accountability partner, and a business coach to help guide you through these still uncharted waters we are all still trying to figure out. To help you think not only strategically, but creatively, which is so important. It is not a luxury anymore to have a business coach and a mindset mentor. It is an absolute necessity, and I assure you, a real game changer. So if you're ready, and I mean really ready, to go beyond the excuses and the limitations and the doubt, to take you and your team to the next level, contact me if you're a business owner or a manager for a complimentary discovery session or strategy session, or if you have a team, a sales team, contact me for a complimentary lunch and learn or virtual webinar at readysetgobeyond@gmail.com. Like and message me on Facebook at Ready, Set, Go Beyond, or contact me on my website, johnmaxwellgroup.com/Jordana Foster. See, here's the thing I need to remember. If you want to grow your business, and I don't know anyone who would say no to that, or if you want to advance in your career, you need to grow yourself first. And it's time for you to step up, show up, and never give up. It's time for you and your team to go beyond. So it is my absolute pleasure to welcome back my amazing guest and contributor, Matthew Bodkin. Where are you? There you are. Wonderful to see you. As always, Matthew Bodkin is CEO and president of Building Financial Solutions, which is a private wealth management firm that helps you simplify finance. Matt, it is always such a pleasure having you here and to be able to share your insights and knowledge and expertise with us. So thank you so much.
That. Thank you.
Absolutely. So today we're going to be talking all about a very important topic, estate planning. And Matt, let's jump right in. What is estate planning and why is it so important?
So when I say estate planning, I want to simplify it, perhaps oversimplify a little bit.
Right.
We break down the words. Planning. We're planning for a future event, right? We're planning. Estate. We are planning for our stuff when we pass. What happens to our stuff, and how can we get it to where we want it to go if and when something happens to us? Estate, our stuff, planning for that future event.
I love how you simplify everything. So think about your stuff financially, your assets, your stuff, like Matt says, and where you want it to go, who you want it to go to, right? So, Matt, you are also an attorney, which I don't think a lot of people know. And I want to ask you to share with everyone, why is it so important that you are an attorney in addition to being a financial advisor? And what added, there are a lot of benefits, but what extra benefits, to your clients being an attorney in the estate planning process do you offer and provide?
So we spend quite a bit of time developing relationships with clients. And what do I mean by that? We are able to develop a very close, and I call it a friendship with clients, a very close connection with people in a way that is confidential. Matter of fact, lawyers have the highest level of confidentiality of almost any profession.
Interesting. And your role as an attorney and your role as a financial advisor, you've explained to me that there's a separation of duties there. And you talk about, it's interesting, putting your legal hat on in certain scenarios and situations when it is needed. Can you explain that, please? Because I think that, putting on the hats visually, people can understand that. But can you share a little bit about that?
Well, there's some real technical aspects that being an attorney and being able to see through the eyes of an attorney is very relevant. Financial advisors very, very rarely are lawyers, and lawyers are very, very rarely advisors. And often it is really important, especially in the estate planning arena, to have a financial advisor and an attorney involved. As a matter of fact, when you hear estate planning, there should be an attorney and a financial advisor involved, or you may be missing something big.
Interesting. And when you talk about estate planning, you always bring up the word, you bring up not only that you're deepening a relationship, but you talk about with your clients, how can you go deeper as that attorney? You talk about being trusted and that confidential space that you provide. Can you explain a little more about that? Because I think that is, the rules and the regulations, that extra layer, which is so important and that we all need to know.
So when we think of attorneys, what do we think of? We think of a strong-willed person, someone competitive, someone trying to win, perhaps an ego that is larger than life, a head that can't fit through the door, right? Sometimes these people are at what I call arm's length. It's hard to develop a relationship with someone like that. And on the flip side, the financial advisors, typically they're very good, some of them are very good if you have a good one, at developing relationships, but they don't have that ability to be held to a confidential in a confidential space and or understand a lot of the legal ramifications of things.
They get it done, right? They get it done, but the relationship, which is so important, because this is a very uncomfortable for most people conversation. And so establishing that confidentiality and that trust, that level of trust that you do in such a genuine, authentic way. I mean, I can't stress that enough for people who are watching and listening, that if you can't, over these last many shows that we've had this past year, you really need to get in touch with Matt and have a conversation. And I want to ask you before we go further, how can somebody who's watching and listening, and they're a little apprehensive, but they're hearing some things that they haven't really addressed, whether they have an estate plan or they haven't looked at it in a while. So how can they contact you for a consultation to see how you might be able to help them?
So they're welcome to give us a call at 954-771-0100. That's 954-771-0100. Of course, if they can remember my name, my last name is Bodkin, Botkin. Or our website, buildingfinancialsolutions.com. That's with an S, buildingfinancialsolutions.com.
Excellent. And you made a very important point that most financial planners are not also attorneys. I mean, would you say a very low number. So that is a huge distinction, that you add that additional value and expertise and knowledge and that different perspective when you are supporting your clients, when you're guiding your clients. And I think that that's such a valuable extra piece that you add to your relationships, right? So when you were talking about estate planning, you mentioned, and not on this show, but before, probate and why it is so important to avoid it at all costs. So can you explain, you simplify everything, which is so wonderful. What is probate and why do we want to avoid it?
So in shortest of terms, probate is a court process for dealing with our stuff when we don't have a beneficiary or things are not in a trust. So the way I describe it is, if a listener has a bank account and something happens to that listener and only their name is on the account, who gets the account? Where does it go? Well, maybe they wanted it to go to their kids or to their spouse or to whomever, but if a person's name is not listed on the account, the courts have to get involved, attorneys have to get involved, creditors love getting involved. And it ends up going to probate when we have, our name listed on the account and we may pass or become unavailable. It could be a mess.
Oh my goodness. And you have several stories that you've shared that when people haven't been very diligent and checked to make sure from a beneficiary standpoint and making sure that your stuff is going to the right person from this estate planning process. Now, I have a question for you that I think a lot of people who, might be parents out there watching. If a person has an account, let's say a bank account like you were just talking about, and through this process with you, they want to have their kids on that account, right? They want it to go to them, but they don't want they're concerned because maybe the kids aren't old enough, they're not mature enough. There might be a lot of different scenarios, but they don't want them doing anything with the account and the assets. They just want to know that they're going to be there. What would you say to that concern that people might have about putting their kids on as a beneficiary to those bank accounts?
So when you have a bank account or an investment account, if you add a child as a beneficiary or someone as a beneficiary, that is just a notification to the bank that if you pass, that person will be allowed to access everything. But they cannot, during your lifetime, see anything, access anything, make any changes or adjustments. They are just a name on a thing, but it is really important to have that as a planning tool so that it can automatically pass to the beneficiaries if something happens to us.
Interesting. Great. So clarification, everybody out there, they are not able to take action on the account until you're no longer here, but it's taking those necessary steps. And Matt just said, it's not automatic that it happens unless you go through the process with Matt Bodkin at Building Financial Solutions to be able to make sure that your stuff is going to who you want it to go to, your spouse, your partner, your children, whomever that might be. So Matt, how can our viewers and listeners contact you for a beneficiary review, to discuss estate planning, whether it's something that they currently have? It doesn't mean if you have one, that doesn't mean that it's up to date, right? We're going to talk about that when we come back. Or if you don't have one, why you should. And Matt can help you with that. So Matt Bodkin, how can they contact you for a complimentary consultation?
So we don't charge for these beneficiary reviews. We can be reached at 954-771-0100. That's 954-771-0100. Or at our website, Building Financial Solutions. No typos allowed. .com.
Well, such valuable information. Matt Bodkin with Building Financial Solutions. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and knowledge with all of us, and the importance of having an estate plan and also an attorney, which he happens to be both the financial advisor and the attorney. Come back here in just a minute. We're going to continue this very important conversation. I'm Jordana Foster with the Go Beyond Show. Matthew Bodkin with Building Financial Solutions. We're going to be back in just a minute after a break with our wonderful contributors. Thank you. Business has changed. Have you changed? Leadership and success require so much more than they did before. Investing in your own personal development as well as the development of your team is an absolute necessity in this new, ever-changing digital business landscape. Mastering mindset and effective communication skills are critical pieces to the success and growth of your business now more than ever. I'm Jordana Foster, founder of Ready, Set, Go Beyond. As a certified mindset coach, business strategist, communication and leadership trainer, and motivational speaker, I am passionate about helping business professionals, business owners, executive managers, sales teams, and organizations to elevate mindset, enhance communication, and up-level performance. Mindset and communication are the key skills for success, especially now with most of us working remotely and interacting with our clients virtually on a daily basis. Don't just survive, it's time to thrive. Contact me for a complimentary 20-minute discovery session at readysetgobeyond@gmail.com. Like and message me on Facebook at Ready, Set, Go Beyond, or contact me on my website at johnmaxwellgroup.com/Jordana Foster. If you want to grow your business or advance in your career, you need to grow yourself first. Step up, show up, and never give up. It's time to go beyond.
Does your pool have a leak? Pool leaks can be extremely costly, mostly because many homeowners don't realize the difference between normal evaporation and a leak. With over 20 years of expertise, LeakWorks provides premier leak detection, repair and pool equipment for pools, spas, and fountains. We've performed thousands of leak detections and repairs for both residential and commercial swimming pools throughout South Florida. We provide comprehensive leak detection using the latest state-of-the-art ultrasonic equipment to dive pools. We specialize in leak detection and repairs, skimmers, pumps, filters, main drains, heaters, lights, saltwater systems, and so many more. Call us at 954-629-3654 or email us at leakworksflorida@gmail.com to set up an appointment. Honest, reliable, dependable, licensed, and insured. LeakWorks. When it comes to pools, we have the tools and expertise to get the job done right.
At Building Financial Solutions, we understand that finances, inheritances, and retirement can be stressful, overwhelming, and complicated, and we simplify it together. We guide you through the process of preparing for today and tomorrow. We specialize in investments, inheritances, rollovers, annuities, retirement, estate planning, and insurance. Contact us for a complimentary consultation at 954-771-0100 or on our website, www.buildingfinancialsolutions.com. Building Financial Solutions. Simplifying finance. Securities offered through Aventex Investment Services, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Aventex Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through Aventex affiliated insurance agency.
You've been listening to Go Beyond. If you want to be part of the show as a guest, highlighting your business, or you would like more information about the content of the show, email me at readysetgobeyond@gmail.com or share your thoughts and call me at 888-565-1470. Welcome back to the Go Beyond Show. I'm your host, Jordana Foster, with my amazing guest and contributor, Matthew Bodkin from Building Financial Solutions. I would like to thank my wonderful contributors. First, LeakWorks, your expert in pool leak detection and pool repairs, and every kind of pool repair you can imagine, commercial and residential, licensed and insured, over 25 years in the business. Contact leakworks.com for all of your pool repair and leak detection needs. And also, of course, the highlight of the night, Building Financial Solutions, a private wealth management firm that helps you simplify finance. And like we've all talked about, finances can be so complicated. So having someone like Matthew Bodkin, attorney, CPA, financial advisor, all of those hats, all of those credentials and expertise to be able to help you simplify the process. So welcome back, Matt. Thank you so much for being here. And we're continuing this very, very important conversation all about estate planning. Now, Matt, when we talked about earlier, we talked about bank accounts, right? But what about investment accounts, businesses, and real estate when it comes to the process of estate planning? How does that all work, and why is that important as well?
So every asset, if you want it to go where you want it to go to in an automatic way, needs to be planned for. Each asset has a different process or mechanism to be able to have that happen, and that's why it's important to set up a meeting with a qualified estate planner or tax attorney that can help with each of these assets to make sure they are planned for appropriately.
Excellent. And you've been in situations where you have seen clients, you've shared stories about clients who have provided you with their documents that you've looked through, and you were shocked to see that what they thought they had in place wasn't necessarily the case, right?
Yes. So I see this all the time. Estate attorneys, as I mentioned earlier, are not financial advisors. So what they do is they draft these fabulous documents that clients are very excited about. And you know what they do after they've drafted all these documents and signed them, and they're fantastic, and it looks like a wonderful binder? They take them home and they shove them in the safe, and they don't look at them again for a million years. The problem there is that there's another step or two that needs to be taken from a financial advisor's perspective to get these things funded. Most commonly, I see trusts. People create these trusts during their lifetime, but you need to actually fund the trust. If you don't put your home in there, or you don't put your investments in there, or your bank accounts, or you don't do anything, then that trust is essentially worthless. So it requires a review.
That's scary to think that a lot of people think that just because the paperwork and everything was done and it looks good on paper, right? That they didn't fund the trust, that they went through these steps in order to do that. So it's very, very important to be able to have somebody like you to be able to go in there and pinpoint the areas where they are lacking and the things that are missing to give them that peace of mind and security that they've worked so hard for, right, with their family. And I want to ask you, when somebody does estate planning, I think this is very, very interesting that you share this. What does that show their family when they do that?
So when you actually do this kind of planning, it shows that you love your family. To me, estate planning, when you do it, and love are synonymous. Because when you're planning, that shows you care about your family. You don't want them to worry. Things go where you want them to go, and they don't have to be stressed out. I see such messes. The most selfish thing a person can do, in my opinion, is not do an estate plan. Because the kids, when they inherit, or the family, when there's an inheritance, end up confused, overwhelmed, grief-stricken. It's an absolute nightmare. So to me, estate planning, when it's done by a parent or a set of parents, shows unbelievable love for the kids.
What a perspective that is for everybody to take away from this conversation. And earlier when you spoke about estate planning and you talked about beneficiaries, right, on that, the beneficiary reviews are absolutely an important part of the estate planning process. And I wanted you to share, just to wrap things up quickly, how often should somebody be having a beneficiary review with you?
So a beneficiary review should happen when there's a life event, death, divorce, a new child, a marriage, or every 3 to 5 years. And when I say a beneficiary review, I just mean looking as simply as whose name is on the account, whose name is on the investment account, whose name is on the deed. If it's your name as a listener, you need to do some estate planning because that likely should be changed. You do not want to have your name on anything if you do it right, which can ultimately perhaps avoid probate and or help us with our overall estate planning.
Wonderful. How can they, we're wrapping this up, how can they contact you for that complimentary consultation to go over estate planning, beneficiary reviews, and all of their needs for their financial plans?
Yep. The no-cost beneficiary review, which does not take long, it's our giveaway, is we get a call at 954-771-0100. That's 954-771-0100 or Building Financial Solutions with an S.com.
Well, I want to thank you so much. This past year, being able to have you share all of your knowledge, expertise, and your heart, which is the heart of what you do, to be able to help your clients. And it has been an absolute joy and pleasure. It is quote time, and the quote of the day is, "An hour of planning can save you 10 hours of doing." Dale Carnegie. And once again, Matthew Bodkin with Building Financial Solutions. I want to thank you. I appreciate you. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I'm excited for more that we can do together. And please contact Matt for that complimentary consultation. And remember, when it comes to your family, it's about the love that you have for them and the planning, the estate planning, and the beneficiary reviews that Matt Bodkin at Building Financial Solutions can do for you. Makes all the difference. Peace of mind, taking care of it, making sure your stuff goes to the right people. Matt, thank you so much. I'm Jordana Foster with the Go Beyond Show. Catch us here every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. live on Facebook at Ready, Set, Go Beyond and also on WWNN. Once again, it's been a great pleasure, Matt Bodkin. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Securities offered through Aventex Investment Services, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Aventex Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through Aventex affiliated insurance agency.
Thank you for watching Go Beyond. Tune in next week as we continue to explore effective ways to help you go beyond your limiting beliefs to unlock your true potential to thrive personally and professionally. Learn how to take you and your business to the next level. Contact me at readysetgobeyond@gmail.com. Like and share my video, because sharing is caring. Contact me at 305-753-6758 or go to my website at readysetgobeyond.com.
The opinions expressed on the proceedings